Okay. All right, hey kids, we are gonna do kind of a takeoff activity today from the one that we did yesterday when we talked about planets. So we think it's appropriate now to move on for you guys to write your own informational text. Now this is different from what you've learned about a narrative because this is not a story. This isn't something where we make up characters and we put a setting down. Those are things that you would kind of create with your own imagination. And it's not like that, okay? This is more research-based. So this is a time when you're gonna ask your parents if you can use Google, and we're gonna try to find facts about things that you enjoy learning about. It's a little bit different than a persuasive essay because we're not trying to persuade people to believe something. We're not trying to get them to be on our side about something. I know fourth graders have done, well, I'm not sure all fourth graders have done it, but a lot of fourth graders have done an essay where they try to persuade people into liking dogs more than cats, or persuade people to like cats more than dogs. This isn't about persuading anybody of anything. This is strictly to get information and facts. So what you need to do first is just sit and watch as we make one of our own paragraphs. And then the second one that we do, we want you to join in and help us with it. The first one we thought we would write about Pokemon. So this is our Foursquare. And this should look very familiar to most of you. So we have the middle part of our Foursquare, which is where our topic is going to be. And for this informational text, we want you to come up with a very interesting fact. So that's where we're going to start. And since we're writing about Pokemon, it would be appropriate to go ahead into Google. And if you guys want to do that at home too, since you're on your computer, if you open a new tab and you can type in google.com, go ahead and do that if you want to join in on that. And then Mr. Tenboer has a computer over here, and he is going to be doing our research for us as we write the information. So Mr. Tenboer, go ahead and type in google.com.
Got it.
And something we want to shock people with when we open our essay so that they want to continue reading is that interesting fact. So something that you could type in to get that fact would be interesting fact about Pokemon.
All right, well, there's a couple here. You want to pick from them?
Sure.
We have Rhydon was the first Pokemon ever created.
Okay.
For a female Pokemon or a female Pikachu, they have a heart on the end of their tail.
Wait, all female Pokemon have
all female Pikachus.
There's female Pikachus?
Yes, of course there are. We need more Pikachus.
That's a kind of an interesting fact. I didn't know that.
And Pokemon is short for pocket monster.
Oh, I like that one.
Okay.
Okay, so
we added to our
I like
chart
that.
here.
So we're going to make that into a question, like a did you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's go ahead and write that up here. Did you know that? And I'm going to put this in quotes so that they know that we're referring to Pokemon here. Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a dash over the E?
Yes.
Pokemon is short for pocket monster. Question mark. Now that's going to be our interesting fact that's going to lead us into the rest of this little essay. We're going to do about 5 sentences to start with. So our interesting fact, did you know that Pokemon is short for pocket monster? And now we need to come up with some more facts to put as our sentence number 2, sentence number 3, sentence number 4. These are going to be the big pieces of our essay where we have all of the information that we want our reader to know. So this is where we can go back to asking ourselves some WH questions. So I'm thinking about who, okay? So when we think about who, I'm kind of wondering who created Pokemon. Okay, that would be an interesting fact to know, and I think our readers might want to know that. So, Mr. Tenboer, can you go ahead and go to google.com?
I can, because your laptop died, so I'll have to do it on my phone here.
Oh, shoot! Okay, you can do it on your computer. Mr. Tenboer's going to do it on his phone.
Yes,
so,
who created it?
Who created Pokemon?
Okay. It was created by Satoshi Tajiri.
That sounds interesting.
Very interesting.
I
did
love
not know
Pokemon even more now.
Satoshi Tajiri.
Okay, can you scoot over?
I can.
It. So now I put it because we're relating back to Pokemon. We already know we're talking about Pokemon. So it, which is Pokemon, was created by who?
Satoshi Tajiri.
How do I spell it?
S-A-T-O-S-H-I. And then Tajiri. T-A-J-I-R-I.
Now, I kind of want to connect something in here because we can ask ourselves another question about when it was created. So we can put that in the same sentence. So instead of just saying it was created by Satoshi Tajiri, and then later saying it was created in, when was it created?
It was created in April of 1995.
1995. So we're going to combine those two sentences like this. It was created by Satoshi Tajiri in
I like it.
1995. So we just answered who and we answered when, all in one sentence by combining the two. Okay, let's think of another thing that we could put for our sentence number 3 that's going to give us a great fact about Pokemon.
Who and when?
What do you think?
Yeah, who and when? Do you want where?
Yeah. Okay. So let's ask ourselves, let's ask Google, where was Pokemon created?
Okay. Google says that the franchise was launched in Japan, Tokyo, Japan.
Ooh, that's cool. So instead of saying it was made in Japan, I kind of like saying it was launched in Japan. Is that kind of cool?
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Google, for that wording.
Yeah. The game. Is it a game, right?
It is a game. It's a show. It's a lot.
Was.
But first off, a game.
Launched in Japan. Cool. So we know who, we know when, we know where. We don't really know why or how it was created. I wonder if you could type in how was Pokemon, like, how was Pokemon thought up? Or how was Pokemon created? Like, did they do it on a computer? Did he start with drawings? Let's try to find an interesting fact about how it was created.
Okay.
Oh, and I don't want to forget my period.
Yeah, I do. What inspired it? There's a good one.
Oh, that's a good one. What inspired?
Oh. It was inspired because the creator collected insects as a kid. So he wanted to collect them. He wanted to catch them all. That's what the saying is. You got to catch them all. So he wanted to collect all the insects for the Pokemon.
So basically, the author or the creator of Pokemon established Pokemon because of his insect collection.
Yep, he would search for them in woods and caverns in rural Japan.
Okay, so can I have your seat a second?
You can take it. Steal it.
So, whoa! Wow. Okay. And we're gonna just use the creator's last name, Tajiri.
You misspelled it.
I did. Tajiri created Pokemon because he enjoyed
collecting insects.
That's kind of interesting.
All different kinds, all different traits, like all the Pokemon.
Did you say that there's like a tagline that Pokemon has?
Gotta catch them all.
Ooh, that would kind of be a cool closing, wouldn't it?
That would be good. I like that.
Like, in conclusion, gotta catch them all.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think?
That is
So usually, now this is the sentence that down here that's your closing. Closings can be used for a number of ways. First of all, you can just summarize everything that you just said, which if we summarize, I mean, we just read all of those things. It's kind of hard to summarize. So I kind of like to get creative and leave like a cliffhanger sometimes. Like, I wonder if all students love Pokemon, or I wonder which age group of kids likes Pokemon the most. Or you can end it with a question. I kind of like using that phrase, gotta catch them all. So we're gonna write, in conclusion.
This is where you get creative here, this last sentence.
Yep.
You find the rest of the stuff for the story, and then you get creative.
Now, did we come up with gotta catch 'em all?
No.
No. So we're going to put that in quotes because it's Tajiri's
catchphrase.
Okay? In conclusion, gotta catch.
Yep.
Like that?
Yep, just like
gotta
that.
Catch 'em all. I'm going to put an exclamation point at the end of that one. Okay? So here, very quickly, we already created a 1-paragraph informational essay. And this is how it would read in paragraph form. Did you know that Pokémon is short for Pocket Monster? It was created by Satoshi Tajiri in 1995. The game was launched in Japan. Tajiri created Pokémon because he enjoyed collecting insects. In conclusion, gotta catch 'em all. So that would be our informational text about Pokémon. We're going to end up actually right now pausing the video in just a second. And what I want you to think about is which planet you want to do an informational text about. So we've picked a planet, and so we're going to change out our board, and we're going to go ahead and work with you, and you can create your own informational text about the planet that you choose while we're doing our informational text about a planet that we choose. So we're going to go ahead and pause it. Go ahead and pause yours while you think of which one that you would want to write about. All right. Pokemon was fun, Mr. Tenboer, but it's time to change gears. Hold on. Let's like the chorus. Catch 'em all.
All right.
That was fun.
It's a good song.
Okay. All right, so now we're going to have you do your own Foursquare. So what I have is a piece of paper here, and I'm going to show you how to make that. And yours is going to look identical to this, okay? So first thing you need to do is go ahead and grab a piece of paper. If you haven't, go ahead and put it on pause. Go grab it. Come right back.
And we're back.
And we're back. So now that you have your paper, fold it in half this way. Half is 1/2, remember? One side out of 2. Doing some math. 1/2. Okay, and then once you have it in half that way, go ahead and do it in half the other way. Do it in half? Fold it in half, not do it in half. Okay. And we're back again. All right, so now you should have 4 squares like this. And then on your 4 squares, you're going to draw 1 large square in the middle. And I will come up to the camera. And I don't know if everybody can see this right, but we're going to draw a square right in the middle. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and put our line on our crease. And then the lines on the crease the other way. And if you need time to do that, go ahead and pause it. Okay. So then when you have that finished, I want you to go ahead and put a number 1 in the middle box, just like we have up here. Okay, and then you're going to put a 2 in the upper left-hand box. And then put your 3 in the upper right-hand box. And then finish with your 4 and 5. So now Mr. Tenboer and I have the same concept. Now we want to ask you a question. What do you remember about box number 1? What goes there for our informational text?
What did you put in there? Started off our paragraph with an interesting fact.
We did. That's true. So,
interesting fact.
In yours, go ahead and write interesting fact. Okay, so everybody says interesting fact, and we're going to go back and we're going to put our interesting fact pretty soon. Okay, but now we have to give you some cues about, what are you doing? Okay, now we're going to give you some clues about what you can put in your Google search bar. So we're going to give you 3 ideas for boxes 2, 3, and 4, which are the body of our paragraph. And then we're going to have you go ahead and Google that about your own planet. So let's do a WH question, Mr. Tenboer. I'm wondering what the planet is made of.
Well, which planet are we doing?
We're doing Mars.
Okay.
Okay? I think Mars would be a good one for us.
Mars, yeah.
I liked it because we got that
stuff.
Interesting fact about the mountain being so tall.
And the rover.
And the rover, yeah. But you know what? You can choose any that you like. I also thought it was cool that Neptune was the windiest and Jupiter had that 400-year hurricane. Those are all perfect facts to put in your interesting fact part. Okay, and we're going to get back to that. But for right now, let's go to box 2. Okay. And in Google, you are going to type, what is, and then put your planet name, made of. Okay? So mine and Mr. Tenboer's will say, what is Mars made of? You'll type that into Google. Not now. We'll get back to it, and then we'll use that later. Mm-hmm. What else could we put in the Google search bar to find out information?
What is Mars made of?
You know, all the planets are different sizes.
Ooh, how? That's a how question.
How big or what size?
What size? Ooh.
Or you don't even have to ask a question. You could just say size of Mars.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna write in R's.
Still gives some good information.
Size of Mars. If you're doing Jupiter or Saturn or Neptune, type in size of Neptune, size of Saturn, size of Earth, whatever planet that you pick. So we have the same. And then what about, I know that they're each a different distance from the sun. Ooh. So that makes them different temperatures.
How hot is Mars?
How hot is Mars?
Mm-hmm.
But what is the
temperature?
Temperature, yep. So I think that we should go ahead and Google temperature of Mars.
Got it.
Temperature is how you split that up. Temperature of Mars. So if you have a different planet, write temperature of Jupiter or temperature of Venus or temperature of Mercury.
Got it.
Okay. And then on number 5, what do we know that our last sentence is? It's our conclusion. So right there, we're just going to write conclusion. Okay.
This one you don't really have to Google, but you could find some interesting stuff about it.
Yeah. So here we have the same. Now, everything we've written so far is not going to be part of our paragraph. These are just giving us ideas of what to Google search for our paragraph. Okay, this is how you do research. When you get to be in 5th grade and 6th grade and 7th grade in high school, you're going to be doing this a lot, and you're going to be searching through books to ask yourselves these questions to write an informational text. So this is a really good starting point for us. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my computer, and I'm hoping right now that you guys can open another tab and go to google.com. Okay, so I'm in. I'm going to go google.com, and our first step right here was the interesting fact. Mm-hmm. So in Google, or if you go to a book, if you guys have books about planets or your specific planet, you can find it in a book too. You can use multiple resources. That would be awesome. For me right now, I'm using my computer. I'm going to type in interesting fact about Mars.
Isn't it called the Red Planet or something?
Yes. So there's a lot listed here. And I'm going to give you a couple ideas here.
Okay.
It was named after the Roman god of war, whose name was Mars. Yeah. It's called the Red Planet due to its reddish appearance. It's the second smallest, but we're going to write about its size later. Mm-hmm. And it has the tallest mountain of any in the entire solar system. So I think we're going to use that as our interesting fact. You guys can take 3, 4, 5 minutes. You can pause it, find an interesting fact, and go ahead and write that in just sentence form. It can be a question like, did you know? And then write your fact, or you can just state the fact. Either way is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do a did you know for mine.
Okay.
Mr. Tenboer, what are you going to do for yours?
I'm going to just state the fact.
Okay, cool. Oh, wait, time out. Oh, yeah, I need to change colors. I want everybody to remember to change colors. I forgot that part. And the reason is that these are our questions we're Googling. This is what we're about to write here is actually what we're going to put in our paragraph, okay? So I'm changing colors to orange.
Do we remember the name of the mountain?
Mons. M-O-N-S.
Mons?
You know what? This is where I need multiple resources. Hold on. I have that planet book.
Planet Mars.
Just kidding.
There she goes.
I put the planet book in the basement.
And we're not going to the basement for it. Okay. Okay, we're just going to say it has the biggest mountain.
Did you know Mars Okay, so how did you write your sentence, Mr. Tenboer?
Planet Mars has the biggest mountain in the solar system.
Okay, well, I started like that, and then I crossed some things out because I had some synonyms.
Yep.
So I actually had, did you know Mars has the biggest mountain in the solar system? And I ended up changing it to, did you know Mars is home to the largest mountain in the solar system?
Wow.
So I changed biggest to largest, and then instead of saying has, which is kind of a little word, I said is home to. So
we have the same fact, but yours is better than mine.
Yeah. So let's see if we can continue that. I'm gonna make sure that my fact is stated in for sure.
Okay, well now it's a contest. I'm gonna beat you.
So did anybody find any interesting facts about their planets? And if you did, go ahead and drop it in the comments below because we would love to hear. And then go ahead and pause if you're not done. If you're ready to move on, we're gonna go to the second sentence in our paragraph. What is Mars made of?
Google it.
So this is where we need to go to google.com. What is Mars made of? Okay, so when I search what is Mars made of, it comes up with saying Mars is made of iron, magnesium, oxygen, and silicone. So that would be our sentence for that one. Now this is a list of things, and don't forget when you have a list, you need to put a comma in the list, okay? So go ahead and write your fact about this, Mr. Tenboer. Everybody should be going to Google or any resource they have about their planet and trying to find out what their planet is made of right now.
Magnesium, what else?
Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Gotta breathe.
Gotta have that.
If there's life, we don't know.
Oxygen, iron, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And what else?
This says that it is the most studied planet after Earth because of speculation. So they're thinking that there might be water beneath the surface. It's kind of interesting. We're not going to put that in this essay, but... Ooh, you used the word elements.
Told you I'd beat you. Let's see.
That's so good. Okay, so my second sentence is, it is made up of iron, magnesium, oxygen, and silicone.
It is made up of the elements, magnesium, oxygen, iron, and silicon.
Silicon?
Silicon.
What?
What? Was that one?
Yeah, but I thought it was silicone.
There's no E at the end.
How do you pronounce
Silicon.
This is why Google's here.
This is Google. Google's your best friend, guys.
How to pronounce
silicone.
Silicon. Let's listen in.
Oh,
Oh! It's one of those words that doesn't have an E at the end to make the O say it's long sound, but let's listen again.
Silicone.
For everybody at home, I was right about that one. Okay, so then let's go to our next sentence, the size of Mars. So you can type in google.com and you can type in size of, and then go ahead and search your planet.
You guys could even say, what's the weight of my planet? I wonder if they weigh planets.
I think they would probably know. Scientists are super, super smart.
Whoa.
Okay, that's Mars. That's the radius of Mars. So now, right away, mine comes up. Now, this is interesting, why it comes up with the radius. Right away, mine comes up with the radius of Mars. So I'm going to really quick, this is kind of a side note because we need to know this. So if this is Mars, okay, the radius is just going to be halfway into it. Okay?
Go to the side.
Yep. I want to find out the diameter, which would be the whole width of it. So I'm going to have to just take the radius. If yours pops up as radius, you just need to take it times 2. So you can do that in a calculator, or you can go back to Google and type in diameter of Mars.
It should come up with 4,000, yep.
4,212 miles. Another thing you can look up would be the circumference, which would be all around the planet. So it's kind of like when you have a sphere. We talked about the radius being halfway through and then the diameter being all the way through. The circumference would measure all the way around the planet. So you can write in any of those, or you can write in all three. You could say the diameter of Mars is, the radius of Mars, and the circumference of Mars is. I think for mine, I'm going to go ahead and do the diameter.
I'm going to do radius.
Okay. Well, since I'm doing diameter and circumference because I'm an overachiever, then I'm going to have to Google that really quick. Circumference of Mars.
It should be like
13,263 miles.
That'd be a long walk. Oh, man.
I don't think I could do that walk.
Did you know that they say in your lifetime you walk around the Earth twice?
No way.
Yep, throughout
like
your whole life.
Like the circumference of the Earth?
Yep. You walk around the entire Earth twice in your lifetime.
Unless you're like a marathon runner, then you probably do it like 5 times.
Yeah.
They're
That is another interesting fun fact. If you write about Earth, you could even write that in there.
Ooh, you could start with that. That would be good. Okay, and our last one is temperature of Mars. So go ahead and if you're still searching the size of your planet, go ahead and pause it. Otherwise, come back. We're back. And the temperature of Mars, or the temperature of whichever planet you chose. Temperature of Mars.
It's gotta be like...
Well, it kind of varies, kind of like on Earth. So we've got like negative 20 degrees in the winter sometimes, all the way to 110 degrees in the summer. It says the surface temperatures reach a high of 68 degrees Fahrenheit?
Yep.
Do you think that's right?
Yep, that's right. It's a little bit colder.
What? No, I think that's talking about Earth, right?
No.
What?
Yeah, Mars is just a little bit further than us. It gets into the negatives.
Seriously
yeah. It's usually in the negatives, but when it's really hot, it's like almost 70 degrees, like on our day here.
Okay. Let me look.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm actually clicking into a new link because I have to get some more information on this.
On average, the temperature on Mars
is minus 80
80
degrees. So when you think about our coldest day on Earth, like when we had all of those days last year when we were out of school, we were at about negative 20 or negative 30 degrees. So you need to take that times 3, and then you would have how cold it is on Mars on a normal day.
It's a lot. Okay, so it's a bit cold today.
It's cold.
A bit.
It's fine. Once we learn how to make like thermal coats and stuff, maybe we could travel there. Well, okay. we could totally make those, but I wonder.
You go first.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and write your fact about the temperature of your planet after you found it. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Tenboer, and give us your sentence about temperature.
I have that the average temperature of the planet is negative 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh, good. I actually wrote mine a little differently. it's fine, which is great.
Yep.
Mine says Mars has an average temperature of -80 degrees, which is colder than the coldest day on Earth.
Letting the reader
kind of
use information that they already know. Yeah.
Like the compare and contrast. Yep. Okay, so now we need to find a conclusion. So remember, you can summarize what you've just talked about. You can come up with a question about I wonder. You can kind of leave the readers with a cliffhanger. Just think about what are you maybe wanting to know more about the planet, and maybe you can ask a question at the end. So Mr. Tenboer and I are going to come up with our own conclusions, and then we are going to let you know ours. Okay. So I want everybody to get their conclusion in, and then once you have your paper completed, kind of like we have our paper completed, I would love if you let your parents take a picture of it and text it to me or send it over to the Remind app, or you can have them email it to my school email address, or Mr. Tenboer, if you guys have his information. We have been sharing some information, so we both kind of know and we stay updated. I'm going to go ahead and read my full paragraph, and then Mr. Tenboer will read his. You'll see how they're a little bit different, but we each have our own style of writing, which is really good, and that's what we're hoping for you guys. So this is what mine says. Did you know Mars is home to the largest mountain in the solar system? It is made up of iron, magnesium, oxygen, and silicon. The diameter of Mars is 4,212 miles, while their circumference is 13,263 miles. Mars has an average temperature of -80 degrees, which is colder than the coldest day on Earth. In conclusion, there are many interesting facts about Mars. I wonder if there's life on Mars. Did you like that conclusion?
I don't know. I might like yours better than mine. We'll see if
we'll find out.
Mine here. All right, interesting fact to start it off. The planet Mars. The planet Mars has the biggest mountain in the solar system, in the Milky Way. That's our solar system.
Ooh.
Biggest mountain in the whole thing.
3 times as large as our largest mountain on Earth.
Yeah. It is made up of the elements magnesium, oxygen, iron, and silicon. The radius of Mars is 2,106 miles. The temperature of the planet is -80 degrees Fahrenheit. In conclusion, there are a lot of fun facts about Mars, and maybe we will travel there someday.
When we get thermal coats and a lot of blankets. So, we would love if you could have your parents go ahead and take a picture of yours, send it to us, we can review it to see anything else we need to teach you. A couple takeaways that I want you all to remember. If you're writing an informational text, remember that we're specifically stating facts. We're not trying to persuade anybody. We're not making up a story. We're not labeling characters. We're not coming up with a plot. This is just giving people information that they need to know about something. And I think it's very interesting to learn about planets. Another couple takeaways, some vocabulary that we've learned today. When we talked about radius, it's when you're halfway through a circle, okay? And so then when you double the radius, it's going through the whole circle, and that's called the diameter, okay? So those are a couple terms you're gonna need to remember for math and science for probably the rest of your life. So radius is halfway through the circle, diameter is all the way through the circle, circumference is all the way around the circle. So those are 3 really good vocabulary words to remember. And we're going to come back and we're going to kind of expand on this later this week, and we're going to add a few more sentences, a couple more details, and try to turn this into maybe a 3-paragraph essay. So go ahead, again, put comments down in the bottom of our channel, have your parents send us the information that you have. We would love to hear from you guys. We seriously miss you so much. We wish we could see you in person and do all of this, but right now we just can't. Mr. Tenboer, you have anything to say to your kids?
Keep reading.
Like always,
keep reading.
And we'll see you too for Tuck-In Tuesday next Tuesday, and we're going to try to go live next time. All right, thanks. Bye.